Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
So, we're nearing the very end of our journey through Inferno. We find ourselves deep in the ninth circle, that frozen lake, Cocytus.
Right, the absolute bottom, the realm of ultimate betrayal.
And today, we're tackling Canto 33. This is actually our penultimate deep dive into Inferno.
Almost there. It's been quite the journey down.
It really has. And our focus today really is trying to pull out some lessons, things that apply to our lives, our own journeys, from Dante's picture of just the worst kind of treachery imaginable.
It's quite something how Dante uses these really extreme examples, but they somehow shed light on, well, the fragility of human connection, maybe.
Yeah.
And the lasting effect of the choices we make.
Exactly. So we're going to dig into Count Ugolino's story, which is just harrowing. And then that chilling scene in Ptolomea.
Ah, yes, the betrayers of guests.
And try to see what deeper meanings, what teachings are sort of embedded in these encounters for us today.
Sounds good. Let's start with Ugolino. It's maybe one of the most famous and, frankly, disturbing parts of the entire Commedia.
It really is. So just to recap the basics. Count Ugolino imprisoned with his sons and grandsons.
By Archbishop Ruggieri, a political betrayal, left in the Tower of Muda.
And just left to starve. The way Ugolino tells the story, the sheer emotional weight of it.
It's brutal, especially the part where his sons offer their own flesh for him to eat.
Unbelievably grim, and him just watching them die one by one, unable to help, trapped.
And what this really drives home, I think, is how betrayal isn't just a single act. It creates this ripple effect, this chain reaction.
Yeah, it's not just between the betrayer and the betrayed.
Exactly. It damages fundamental bonds, families, and leaves this legacy of suffering, sometimes across generations.
It's a powerful reminder of the intergenerational consequences our actions can have, even choices that seem purely political or personal at the time.
Absolutely. The echoes can last a long, long time.
Okay, so from Ugolino's Hunger Tower, we move deeper into the ice, into Ptolomea.
Right. And here the scene changes. We see souls frozen solid in the ice, but unlike others, their faces are turned upwards.
Which means their tears.
Their tears freeze instantly, sealing their eyes shut, creating this mask of ice they can't even find release in weeping.
It's another layer of torment. And here we meet Friar Alberigo.
Friar Alberigo, infamous for his evil fruit, as Dante calls it. He invited his relatives over for a meal.
And then had them murdered at the table. Betrayal of guests, one of the worst kinds in that cultural context.
And Dante introduces this really shocking theological twist here.
This is the part that always gets me.
These souls, Alberigo and others like Branca Doria, are already in hell.
While their bodies are still walking around on Earth.
Yes, possessed by demons. Their betrayal was so profound, so complete, it severed their souls from God immediately. Their spiritual death happened before their physical one.
Wow, that's a heavy concept. What does that say about betrayal itself?
Well, Dante seems to be suggesting that this kind of profound treachery, especially against guests or those who trust you implicitly, it fundamentally destroys your humanity.
It's like you forfeit your soul on the spot.
You become incapable of empathy, of connection. Those frozen tears really symbolize that, don't they? A total emotional shutdown.
It's the death of the human spirit.
And this ties into other themes in the canto, right? Like the distorted communication.
Definitely. Think about Ugolino. He's telling this horrific story, but he's also gnawing on Ruggieri's skull. He can't really be reached or consoled in his grief and rage.
And Alberigo begs Dante to break the ice from his eyes so he can weep, but Dante refuses.
Right. It shows how betrayal isolates. It destroys the possibility of genuine communication, of shared feeling. It's part of their punishment.
There's also that sense of poetic justice, the contrapasso.
Absolutely central to Inferno. The punishment fits the crime, often in a symbolic way. So Ugolino, who betrayed Pisa, now endures starvation, or at least the memory of it, and eternally devours the one who betrayed him.
It suggests our actions tend to bring about fitting consequences, sometimes in ways we couldn't predict. What you sow, you reap, essentially.
And that idea of betrayal as spiritual death you mentioned, it's like the ultimate consequence.
It really is. It underlines how treachery isn't just breaking a rule. It's severing your moral compass, your connection to, well, to goodness, to God, to your own humanity, even while you're technically still alive.
A kind of self-inflicted damnation.
Precisely. And Dante doesn't just show us this. He feels a responsibility. He urges the reader, urges us, to remember Pisa's shame, Ugolino's story.
There's a responsibility in hearing these stories too, isn't there? To learn from them.
Yes, the responsibility of testimony. Acknowledging past wrongs, understanding their roots and consequences is crucial for not repeating them.
One last point from the canto that always stands out is that horrific parody of the Eucharist.
Ah, yes. When Ugolino's sons offer their bodies for him to eat. Father, it would be less pain for us if you ate of us.
It's such a dark inversion of the Christian sacrament of self-giving love.
It really highlights the depth of the depravity here. How betrayal can twist and corrupt even the most sacred ideas, the most fundamental bonds of love and family, into something monstrous.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, our second to last one, it's striking how even in depicting the absolute worst of human behavior, Dante gives us so much to think about regarding our own lives.
Definitely. These aren't just historical figures or allegorical cartoons. They represent, in extreme forms, failures and temptations that are part of the human condition, the insights into the impact of choices, the importance of trust, the consequences of breaking it. They're timeless.
They really force you to confront the weight of your actions and how easily trust, once broken, can lead to devastation. Lessons that are absolutely vital for navigating our own journey, wouldn't you say?
Couldn't agree more. And maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to consider. Betrayal isn't always these grand operatic gestures like in Dante.
True, it can be much smaller.
It can be the broken promise, the violated confidence, the subtle undermining of trust. How might the stark lessons from Tacitus, from Ugolino and Alberigo guide us towards more meaningful, more ethical ways of being in our own relationships, our own communities?
Something to definitely reflect on. Thank you for joining us for this penultimate exploration of Inferno.
Thank you. It's been illuminating, if chilling.